My name is Anthony Amarim, and this is Growing Up. Growing up is really lame, at least to me. Growing up is a part of your life in which you finally need to start taking responsibility for the things you've done. Growing up is inevitable, given you're still alive by the time it happens, and I think that's why it's such a hard concept for me to grasp. When did I stop being a 4-year-old? When did 7 and 8 pass me by? Why does my age have 2 digits instead of 1? Stop, this isn't fun. 11 years old and I've kissed someone. When did I become one of the big kids that I used to sit on the bus and watch and think, hey, I can't wait to be that big someday? God, I was so dumb. When did, hey, that's a really nice picture you drew for me, let me put it on the fridge, become Anthony, I don't care, stop drawing a picture of an elephant, where are you going to college? When did I become big? What happened to not having to care about my future? What happened to, hey mom, I skinned my knee playing tag with my friends, can you make me a grilled cheese sandwich? I miss being a little kid. I miss having a dog that was bigger than me, and I miss the fact that my biggest concerns were who I was going to have a sleepover with that night and what video games my friends were playing, and I miss being so small that I didn't have to worry at all about being cool. When you're a little kid, you have no reason to hate yourself, and you have no regrets, and I miss not having regrets, and I wish I never did anything that would cause me to have regrets, and I wish I never hated myself. What is cool? When you start to grow up, you start to get this false sense of what's cool. A sense of assurance masked with clothes and hairstyles and products that somehow promise you friends. Money promises you friends. Is cool going to all of the parties, getting drunk and high and making a fool of yourself in front of people you know, as if you have to prove yourself to anyone but yourself? Is cool having the new iPhone? And constantly upgrading your Instagram and your Twitter and your Vine, but not your Facebook, because Facebook's been overrun by old people. Ew, old people, they're not cool. How come nobody warned me? I mean, yeah, they all say growing up's really hard and you're gonna have to start taking responsibility for things, but why didn't they teach me that as you slowly age, the fun decays, the magic of the world suddenly goes away, imagination gone, a whole nation built on consumerism, and I got my childhood from a cartoon sponge. And I thought that cartoon sponge was there for me, you know, and people all across the world enjoyed it too, but as I grew and changed my view, I saw my mind was quite askew, and the things I saw just were not true, but rather done for money. When I was young, the things I aspired to be were wired to me and done with my intentions. But all of a sudden, life conspired to change those goals to something dire, and now the things I have to do are done out of a way to keep myself financially stable. But are we able to tear out that cable, connecting us from this world of labels and finally growing up with nothing but self-assurance? No. No, I don't think we'll ever stop playing their game, and it's a shame, and I think we're kind of all to blame, and God knows what we have became. Is became a word, it's all the same. Put ourselves inside a frame, and growing up is really lame. At least to me.
I wanted to be a zookeeper, because zookeepers are always smiling, and I thought there must be more to it than the monkeys. I wanted to be an actress, because actresses get to be on stage, and they always know what to say. I wanted to be a teacher, because teachers are so good at being adults, they get to teach kids how to do it. I wanted to be a wizard, because when wizards stand up to assholes, everyone just says thank you, instead of giving them a time out. I wanted to be a rabbi, because rabbis always have a good answer. I wanted to be a grown-up, because grown-ups never have to listen to assholes. Grown-ups always know what to say. Grown-ups always know what they want, and grown-ups always have a good answer. I wanted to be a grown-up, because I thought it would be so much easier than being a kid. I thought it happened all at once. Get booped on the head by the adulthood fairy, and Dorothy's Oz would technicolor everything into making sense. That from one moment to the next, the fog of childhood uncertainty would melt away. I wanted to be a grown-up, and then I got this little piece of plastic that said I was one. The first thing I learned is that the fog of childhood uncertainty is way easier to see through than its adulthood counterpart. The second thing I learned is that actual pina coladas taste nothing like the lollipops. Both of these things had me very disappointed. I learned that finding a decision of any meaning that is both right and easy is quite a difficult endeavor. I learned that convincing small children into thinking you know what you're doing is way easier than it should be. I learned what love is. I learned that given enough time and silence, even love will fade. I learned that I love stages because I know who I am behind a microphone. I learned I need to find that feeling somewhere else. I learned that having a good answer and applying it are two very different things. I learned that there is no instruction manual for this. Someone should write that. I learned that I want to be a grown-up, not for how easy I thought it was, but because it is so much harder than I ever imagined.